first place that comes to mind when thrifting in London is, of course, Camden, always my main stomping grounds when I'm in London. And straight out of the train station, if you go one direction, you'll see a lot of charity shops. The first one we went into was Traid, which in hindsight was the best one. There's a lot of good finds there, lots of cute shoes. You could even find some like Doc Martens maybe if you're on the right day, and just like a lot of trendy pieces. It seemed a bit more curated, and lots of options to choose from. Lots of corduroy and nostalgic styled pieces like 80s, 90s if you're into that kind of thing. I fell in love with these pants, but sadly they were too tight, so we went on to Oxfam, which had some awesome color coding going on, but it was pretty picked over, as you can see by this rack here, and nothing was really leaping out at me, so I decided to just leave. On to Cancer Research UK, which was another small store, which you'll notice is a trend in the UK. They're not like big warehouses. I tried to flick through all the clothing, but again, very picked over, nothing leaping out at me, and kind of all just basic everyday wear. No flair to the clothing, really. It's really up to luck when it comes to thrifting, and what day you go, what stuff they have in store that day. Didn't find anything. And really whether it's a high traffic area for all the thrift girlies out there. So we went on to Scope. They had a few cute pieces, these crazy shoes which are break an ankle, so I decided no. And I found the variety pretty good for a lot of different size ranges. I just didn't happen to find anything myself. Onto the British Heart Foundation. They had a variety of things, nothing leaping out, but they did have some cute shoes, these platform boots, which were too small for me sadly, and these loafers, which I would have gotten if I wasn't already wearing loafers. I could have continued on further down the street, but I was sick of the lack of options, so I went back the other way towards Camden Market and went to ROKIT Camden, which is a little more curated but a lot more expensive. You're guaranteed to find their coolest finds there if you can afford it. They had a big selection of awesome men's shirts with lots of cool patterns, which Nick was happy about. But for reference, the shirts were £35, which makes me cry in Australian dollars. Heading into Camden Market, there's a lot of vintage stores. This one in particular, the Vintage Collection, was, as name suggested, full of vintage finds. Some really unique bold pieces from anywhere from the 70s, 80s, 90s, which you'd probably be hard pressed to find at any of the local smaller thrift stores. Or should I say charity shops, or op shops, whatever you want to call it. Side note, if you happen to be in the area, you need to check out the British Boot Company, which has the coolest Doc Martens ever. They have a lot of discontinued styles, and it was just super fun to look at. Next up is Brick Lane. First off, we tried u.clo, which is a little store, but they did have a lot of cute retro pieces and not bad prices. I found this really cute pink slip dress, and I'm kicking myself that I didn't buy it because it looks so cute in its clip. Across the road is Hereafter, which is a place I went a few times, and every time I found something I liked, since it was all very retro and quirky, but it was all too expensive for me. On a weekend in Brick Lane, you'll find a lot of stalls and random things like these shoes. And just like Camden, they have a ROKIT which has similar pieces, and I tried these overalls which didn't fit. Wandering around, you'll also find a lot of indoor markets where you can find a mishmash of different things, and you can kind of haggle a little bit on pricing if you're game enough for it. You may need to mentally prepare yourself for the Brick Lane Vintage Market because it's a bit of a sensory overload. There is so many things to look at in this area, so many stalls, and I personally couldn't concentrate, so I left. Atika ended up being my favourite of all the curated thrift stores. It's 2 levels of cute vintage pieces, as well as small collections from independent designers. Which, yes, screams expensive, but it's super inspiring to see these pieces. I was so intrigued by this dress, but it was a little too small, and I also tried these brown pants, which again, too small. Sad face.
So we only bought kind of like one thing each. I did find a cool set. It's like the skirt, and it's got a little shirt with it. You know I love a good set, and Nick, he's a faceless dude. You're not allowed to see his face.
No, I have a face. Block printed, it's from India. I don't have that many yellow shirts, but now I've got one.
And then the other thing in our haul is these art tricks, which I'm gonna... Cheers! Should I just put the set on? One moment, please. Isn't this cute? I think so. Whee!
market has a lot of vintage finds to dig through. You can haggle the prices. You can find some really cute one-of-a-kind items, but maybe you have to dig around a little bit to find them, whilst also navigating around a lot of people. But it's a really cool area to just mosey around. You can keep going down the street further to more thrift stores. I found Pepper Tree Vintage, which was again very pricey, but they had some really cute items, and I tried on this adorable towel dress, except it was just way too short. With this being a high traffic area, the thrift stores kind of suck, as you can see with these pants. So it's probably best to spend your time in vintage stores in this area. Goldsmith Vintage had a lot of variety of good denim, except it's kind of hard to find a size when they're folded like this, and I don't want to screw it up. But the embroidery on these jeans was to die for, so I tried them on and they didn't fit. Further down is another Pepper Tree, which again had an amazing selection. But at this point I had thrifting fatigue because I hadn't found anything, and I am kicking myself because those skirts were actually real cute and I probably should have tried them on. But I was being stricter than usual because I have such a small backpack. So they were the main areas in London where you would think, let's go thrifting. But to be honest, I'm not gonna bullshit you. It is hard to find things in those areas because they're so picked over. Also very overpriced if you want certain items. And I've definitely felt better vibes in other places. Although it really does depend on what day you go, what's being donated that day, what your style is, and what you're looking for. But when it comes to London, I think my pro tip would be stick to the outskirts kind of areas, maybe go to some of the richer neighborhoods. I personally was staying south in Dulwich, which has some cute tiny little like grandma run thrift stores with a lot of high quality pieces from well-known brands for a lot cheaper prices. Or my personal favorite of all the thrift stores was Traid, if you need a specific name. They usually have a good variety, not just for people with a similar style to me, but they just had a good range for everyone.
Now, honestly, I thought I would have found so many more gems in London, but it seemed like it was picked over. But that's okay because I still have so many other places to thrift, and I've already kind of filled up my backpack, so I need to take it slow and steady. So the first thing I found was, of course, this very cute set. It's very 80s. It's got fruit print all over it. It's very breezy. I can like wear it just with like one button up, or just have the skirt and like a bra open, you know, so many different ways of wearing this. It reminds me of stuff that you get from like Lisa Says Garn, stuff like that. This one is actually like age 14. It's for teens. And the best part, we got pockets in the sides, and they're very deep pockets, so I can fit a lot of stuff. And the waistband is tight enough so that if I do put things into pockets, it doesn't slide down. I think I got it, she was selling it for like £18, but then my boyfriend bought a shirt as well and she made us a deal. I think we got both for like 30 maybe. Definitely on the pricier side, especially when you convert to Australian. I also love how these sleeves are just like little cap sleeves, so that was a win. And I thought that was gonna be my only purchase, but I got a few extra things at the end. One of those being these little clips. I'll try to put one in my hair. I went to this really cool thrift store. Was it Atika? I think it was called Atika. And they had heaps of cool stuff, but I only came out with some little clips. Yeah, they just kind of go on your hair. Super cute. I like putting them like up the top and stuff. But yeah, I got 4 of those so I can put them in my hair. And oh, also, I guess this is a thrift find. It's a scarf. Nick, my boyfriend, actually found it on the street. It didn't look that bad and it's mine now. So I think it's originally from H&M. It's kind of like getting a thrift purchase, finders keepers kind of thing. So yeah, that's super cute, and I've been trying to figure out ways on how to wear it. Then on my last day, I was just walking around the neighborhood where I was, West Dulwich, and I found this jacket. It's not gonna be great to pack in my bag, but it's this corduroy jacket. It's originally from Zara, yeah. I have always wanted a cropped jacket, so I'm thinking about cropping this like just around the waist area, but we'll see. I've been wearing it a lot when I've been taking dogs for walks because it's got good pockets and it's good for nighttime. And I just kind of like cover up with it. So yeah, I'll see if I do end up cutting it. But yeah, I don't know how this is going to fit in my bag, but it's a good sturdy jacket for the trip. It just happens that it's like kind of the wrong color to go with most of my stuff, but
we'll make it work. And I'm pretty sure I got this for £5, and when I put it through at the counter, the guy was like, you have a good deal. And I was like, yes. So yeah, that's what's the good thing about going to those little local out of the way thrift stores, is you can find good deals like this. And I just realized Woody is on the couch there. He's such a cute dog. And this is his house. Yeah, I've been house sitting, if you're wondering. And then last but not least, something very exciting. Basically, I got rid of my docs at the start of the trip because they weren't fitting. So I decided I'm gonna go on Depop and I'm gonna obsess over docs. And I ended up finding this. Yes, you're probably thinking I already have these shoes, but no. These are the 1461 quads, but in this like burgundy color. I honestly cannot describe what the color is. That people say it looks brown, people say it looks red. I honestly think it looks like an oxblood kind of red color. My eyes cannot distinguish what this is, but I got these because I knew how much I wore my 1461s quads in black, and yeah, I found them on Depop. Practically brand new, only used for like some fashion student's assignment that she used. So I got them for like £80, which is kind of a lot of money, but I know I'm gonna wear them a lot on this trip and they go with everything, so I love them. My hair is all messed up now, but so yeah, that is everything I thrifted while in London. Honestly, pretty good haul when I put it together like this. Before I was like, I don't think I really got anything, but I really did. It's kind of more of a struggle to find things there because it has been picked over. But if you go to different areas around town, you'll definitely find something cool because there's so many cool cats and I'm not freaking saying cool cats and kittens. There's so many cool people in London. So obviously there's going to be cool clothes at the thrift store. So hopefully that was helpful. I hope you enjoy thrifting in London or whatever city you're in. Let me know your tips below. My name has been Jen, and until next time, keep wondering.